Nibiru, Anunnaki, and the ancient spaceport. Iraqi government transport minister Finjan makes a public revelation about this. He informs us they have found an ancient spaceport, the first in the world, built 7,000 years ago, and he claims that this will be the location of the new Iraqi airport. This is the transport minister Finjan surprising the whole world by his statement. The aliens are pushing for revelation, and as it turns out, they have already begun. China, a pioneer, overtook them all. NASA announced it indirectly but clearly, while at the same time casting suspicions about various celestial bodies such as Jupiter's Europa. Britain is also ahead indirectly. Various official statements have been made from time to time, such as by Russian Prime Minister Medvedev and former Canadian Defense Minister Paul Hellyer. Now, it's the turn of the Iraqi government to do it, maybe a little awkwardly, but obviously they do not have much time ahead of them. By the end of the year, people need to know. The Iraqi Transport Minister Kazem Finjan says ancient aliens built the Earth's first airport 7,000 years ago in the Middle East and used it for interplanetary missions. The Sumerians lived in Mesopotamia, and according to Finjan, the Iraqi transport minister, these Sumerians helped them, the Anunnaki extraterrestrials helped them develop the space station due to the visit of the Anunnaki, the space aliens, the ancient aliens, as George Tsoukalos tells us. Now, the first airport on planet Earth was in this place, the Iraqi transport minister said. It was built 5,000 years before Christ. This is what Finjan explained, leaving the group of journalists shocked and, well, of course, a little bit astonished. So this is what he states, that the new airport will be built at the location of the old airport built by the Sumerians. That's where the Sumerians, he said, launched their spaceships 7,000 years ago. He said the ancient Sumerians built the first airport 7,000 years ago and launched spaceships from there to explore other planets. He also claimed that all the world's angels were Sumerian. To support his claims, he referred to the work of Samuel Kramer, Russian professor and Sumerian expert, who highlighted the Sumerians' advanced understanding of the cosmos. Of course, some of us would call them Sumerians, some of us would call them Atlanteans. And I'll leave a link below for you for the playlist I have on the Emerald tablets written by Thoth the Atlantean, and he claims that yes, they had air travel, they also had space travel, and then they also had interstellar travel. They had airplanes, they had spaceships, they built the pyramids, and Thoth is credited with building the Giza pyramids, and he says that after the sinking of the continent of ancient Atlantis, which took thousands of years to sink, some of these Atlanteans had gone to other areas of the world, and the first thing they did was to build pyramid complexes. I guess that had to do with some kind of energy production. I have no idea. But they had advanced technology. They used to live for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years, just like the Sumerian king lists tell us that they used to live for tens of thousands of years. And also that they had interdimensional travel, according to Thoth the Atlantean. This was something that they were not supposed to dwell into, but they did. They were misusing and abusing their advanced technology to the point where he said they were so haughty and selfish that it was just a matter of time before divine intervention would put an end to their misuse, because it was to the detriment of Earth and humans. But I'll leave a link below for you. It's a very interesting thing to read. You should know about that. It has to do with our ancestry. There are many archaeologists and astronomers who believe that these entities may still be among us, and that these UFOs that we see, these hypersonic UFOs that we see zipping in and out of dimensions and flying at astronomical speeds can be their spacecraft. Now, I don't know, but I have seen a UFO when I used to live in Montreal, Canada. I was about 12, 13 years old. But it was standing still and it was not making any noise. Now, the Sumerians were the first known people to settle in Mesopotamia over 7,000 years ago. This is located in the southernmost part of Mesopotamia between the rivers of Tigris and the Euphrates. That's modern-day Iraq. And Sumer was often called the cradle of civilization. By 4000 BC, it established an advanced system of writing, spectacular arts and architecture, astronomy, and mathematics. The Sumerians recorded their astronomical observations as early as 3500 BC. Astronomical phenomena were important to the Sumerians, who equated planets with gods that held an important role in their mythology and religion. Jupiter, for example, was associated with their main god Marduk, the patron deity of the city of Babylon. Arab news channel Al-Bawada reported that Minister Kadem Finjan, the transport minister of Iraq, made his comments during a visit to the new airport construction site in southern Iraq near Basra, where he claimed that the Sumerians had built an airport in exactly the same location 7,000 years ago. Quote, "It's a long story, maybe you don't know it, maybe even people from Dekar don't know. The first airports that were built on planet Earth were built in the 5th millennium BC in Dekar. In an Al Jazeera translation, there were Sumerians who launched spaceships from Dekar and headed to other worlds," he said, arguing that all the world's angels were Sumerian and stating that Sumerians were the first to discover the planet Pluto. Now, while no one in the audience questioned the minister, listeners were quick to jump to social media to rubbish his claims. The Middle East Monitor shared comments from internet users who criticized the incompetence of the government. Quote, "Iraqi transport minister hallucinations about spaceships in Nasiriyah proves that the Al-Abadi government is full of fools, hashish addicts, and most worthless of humanity." This is what Dawood al-Basri claimed. To support his claims, Finjan referred to the work of the late Samuel Kramer, who was one of the world's leading Assyriologists and world-renowned expert on Sumerian history and Sumerian language. In his book, History Begins at Sumer, Kramer urges that the Sumerians had the first achievements in all the major fields of human endeavor, including government and politics, education and literature, philosophy and ethics, law and justice, agriculture and medicine. But critics of the transport minister's speech say that Kramer never mentioned ancient airports or spaceships. Nevertheless, the minister does have a number of supporters among ancient astronaut theorists who argue that intelligent extraterrestrial beings visited Earth and made contact with humans in antiquity, and many believe that ancient Sumer was the first place in which contact was made. Please leave your comments. Thank you so much. And I'll leave links below for you for this, from Ancient Origins, and also from the article that I translated for you from Greek, from Diadrastika. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.